I-beam for Asset Project Management. This session covers creating submittals and is intended for our vendor users. First-time users are encouraged to view the first-time users video by visiting the link found in the description of this video prior to watching the session. In this session, we'll discuss viewing drawings, spec book, and reports, creating submittals, and what to do if submittals are sent back for clarification. We'll start with viewing drawings, the spec book, and reports. These items are entered into the system by the architect. You can see that they're sorted through these folders. Let's take a look in the system. To view these documents, we'll start here on our Project tab. If you don't have the correct Project tab up, you can pull it up simply by clicking this plus mark and then typing the name of the project. Once here, we'll come to Document Manager, Documents. Here you can see that the documents have been sorted for you by drawings and spec books, and if available, reports will be an additional folder. You can click directly into these folders to find the attachments to the right. To view an attachment, simply double-click. Now we're ready to create our submittal. Submittals are created by the contractor. They then come to Avalon Bay to review. It is possible that Avalon Bay will send this back to you for any clarification. If this happens, a task will be created for you within the system, and you'll receive an email notification. We'll take another look at that a bit later. Once Avalon Bay has reviewed it and is ready to move it forward, they'll determine if it needs to go to the architect, third party, or both. It will then go back to the Avalon Bay project team for review. The record will then come back to you when the answer is ready for distribution. To create a submittal, first be sure you're on the correct project tab. You'll come to Construction Field BPs, Submittals and RFI, Submittals, and click directly on Submittal. As a reminder, written instructions can be found within the system here under Help. You'll simply click Help, Submittal Help. Once you do this, a PDF will present itself. Once you open the PDF, utilize the bookmarks shown here to navigate to the section you'd like to review. For example, this document is 38 pages long, but we can utilize the bookmark to go directly to the part to create a submittal as a contractor. To create a new record, simply click on New, like this. You'll notice that the form has three parts. There's the upper form, which is like a cover page. You can expand each section by clicking on the tab title, like this. There's the Action Details section, which we'll talk about a little bit more later. And then the lower form, or the Details section, where you'll attach your submittal items. We're going to start with the upper form. You'll notice that any field that is gray you're not able to influence. Any field that is white you're able to complete, and any field that has a red asterisk is mandatory. Let's scroll down to the Submittal Reference section. Here you're able to enter your spec section, your drawing number, and any other references you may have. If there was a previous submittal, you're able to pull it in here. That provides two benefits. One, it will link the two together, and number two, some of the submittal information down below will auto-populate. For our example, we'll say there wasn't a previous submittal. So now let's focus on the submittal information section. We'll find some additional guidance here within the record. For example, if the submittal type equals warranty, we're required to complete the equipment warranty field. Let's start with the submittal title. Next, we'll enter our submittal type, which in our instance will be shop drawings, and then whether or not there's an equipment warranty. We'll say no. Notice these three fields are gray, so we're not responsible for completing them. However, we do have the opportunity to enter the manufacturer and the model number. As we scroll down the form, you'll notice that the rest of the upper form has gray fields, meaning we're done with our part. So we'll move on down to the lower form. To expand the lower form, simply click on Submittal Items. This is where we'll add the attachments to send forward to the project team. To add your attachments, simply click on Add. You'll notice there are two fields that we must complete. I suggest that you pull in your attachment first, and then the name will auto-populate. For example, we'll come to Attachment, Add Attachment, then My Computer. From here, we'll click on Browse. Then we locate the correct document within our computer. Then click OK. We can see that one file was loaded successfully. Now we need to give this document a short description. Here's a best practice tip. Use the short description field to indicate the status of the attachment. For example, submitted for approval or requires approval. Click OK. You can repeat this process for every document you'd like to add. If there's a document you've attached that you no longer would like to proceed with, simply highlight it and click on the Remove button. Now we're ready to send the record forward to the Avalon Bay project team. To do this, I'll show you the Action Details section. First, we'll come up to the Workflow Actions. Select Submit. Now you'll see who this record is going to and that it's being sent for Avalon Bay review. Now that we're ready, we can simply click Send. The submittal has been submitted successfully and Avalon Bay has been notified immediately. If Avalon Bay has a question, or if they find your submittal incomplete, they'll be sending it back to you for clarification. If this happens, you'll be sent an email as a notification and a task has been created for you within iBeam. The email will state that the submittal has been sent to you for revision. Once you click in, you'll find some additional information, including a link right here. When you click the link, you'll be asked for your iBeam credentials and be taken straight into the record at hand. Another way to get to your open task is to come directly to the Home tab and click on Tasks. Here you'll see any open tasks within the system awaiting your attention. And there's our submittal, sent for revision. To open it, simply double-click. The first thing we need to do when accepting a task is to click the Accept Task button. Until we click this button, we're not able to make any changes. Now we need to find out why it was sent back to us. To do this, come down to the General Comments tab where we see this icon. Click the link. And we can see that an additional document was requested. To respond, we can simply click Add and add the response. And click OK. Now we're ready to close this window and add the additional required document. Now we're ready to send it back. We'll come to our Workflow Actions, click Resubmit, and Send. Once Avalon Bay, the architect, and the third parties have reviewed the submittal and responded, you'll likely receive an email that says you've been copied on the submittal. You can click into that email and again find the link to easily sign in to the system and find the record. You can also find the record by coming to your Project tab, Submittals and RFI, Submittals, and the Submittal section. We'll find it right here, and you can see the architect's response is approved as noted. The record's already been closed, so we can double-click in for the final results. And here we can find the reviewed document. If at any time you'd like to see where the record is in its process, you can utilize the Ball and Court section here, or you can click in to view the process data. We can see when Avalon Bay reviewed it and when the architect reviewed it. In addition, you can view the graphic here to see the workflow. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video on creating a submittal. Don't forget there are written instructions available in the Help section of any process to guide you through the steps. If you require further assistance, reach out to your designated I-Beam support team member.